we'll see what happens. Do you see the camera? Nothing on the screen. Okay, cool. That's exactly what I want you guys to see. All right, guys. If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me, press 1. Okay? If you can't see me, if you can't hear me, then press 2. And if you're a rebel, I guess press 3. All right, I think we got it. I think we got it to work. Exciting. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is not the normal setup, but we're going to make it work. All right, that's why it was a little bit kind of a shit show. Okay, I think we got this. All right, I'm so excited. All right, guys. How are we doing today? All right, Taxi says 1. That's good. Go Lucky 1, 3. Okay, cool. Wonderful. Alrighty, y'all. So we are going to be watching the Afroman Trial, and it's a short trial. So don't worry, you're not dedicating 3 weeks to me. I know you guys are spending lots of time with me lately, but the Afroman Trial, I think it's only like 1 or 2 days. So it's probably going to be 1 day's worth of Corey Richards' trial. I don't think we're going to finish today, though, but I think we will finish this week. And if you guys haven't watched the other coverage we've done with Corey Richards, we did live stream the 3 weeks trial. It was supposed to be 5 weeks. Shit happens. It wasn't. And if you guys want to watch the entire trial, go watch the live streams. Or if you want to recap because you don't want to watch like 8 hours of me every day, that's fine too. We do have recap videos, so feel free to check out the Corey Richards video. Now, this is another trial where I think it was happening right around closing arguments in Corey Richards' trial, and this trial sounds interesting. There's something about a lemon pound cake, and for me, I have a very sweet tooth, and it sounds very intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. And then I actually heard about this a while back. I think about a year or two ago. I did hear about Afroman. His house was raided, and that's pretty much it. I didn't hear about all the drama that followed afterwards. Apparently, after they raided his house in, I think, 2022, Afroman continued making like music videos and songs that went viral about the local police officers, I guess. So I don't know if they're gonna play the music. Hopefully not, because I'm not trying to get no copy. But yeah, I'm interested to watch this trial with you guys, and bear with me a little bit. We are not in our usual setup, so that's why things are looking kind of funky right now. And I slept in today. I didn't even have time to do my face, so we look like this. But I appreciate you guys being here. I mean, I never really give a fuck anyways. But alrighty, y'all. So we got Meow Meow here, Go Lucky, Joe's here. Hey, how's it going? What is up? Alrighty, y'all. Let's do this. Hi, Lauren. Hello. You're studying right now, but I'll be listening. The trial is a mess. The music video was wild. I haven't seen anything. Nothing at all. All I've seen, I think I looked up the lyrics to the Lemon Pound Cake. That's pretty much about it. So, hi Rain, how are you doing today? Hi Steffi. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Please feel free to give me feedback about the microphone, the audio. I think I have it okay now. I had to bump up my microphone, and then I bumped up the audio for the YouTube videos. So I hope it is good. Let me make sure I have my captions. I think the captions are on. So again, as always, I am gonna have it a little bit sped up, and if they speak too fast or too slow, I'll probably adjust depending on how that is. But let's watch the Afroman trial. Are we in Florida? I don't know where we are. WCPO. I have no idea where we are. If anyone knows what state we're in, let me know. I just made the assumption that we were in Florida because, crazy should be happening in Florida sometimes. For all those who don't know, the name is because of the ingredients used in 1 pound each of what? 1 pound money or 1 pound of weight? I don't know if lemon pound cake was maybe it's a euphemism for something. I thought it was literally a 11-pound cake. That's what I was thinking. Alrighty, y'all. So, let's watch this trial together. You know what I'm planning on doing, though? I think it is a short trial, but I'll probably have a recap video of this trial. I think we'll do that. I actually have fun doing recap videos. So, we're going to have this recorded, and hopefully I have enough space on my computer. We'll see about that. Alrighty, let's get it started. I'm assuming this is the state who's going to be doing the opening statement. Usually the state starts and then defense goes afterwards.
All of these posts, Mr. Foreman knew they were untrue. Okay. And that's the actual malice that you heard about. He doesn't have to hate people. He doesn't have to anything else. If he knows they weren't true, that's actual malice. For public officials, he can't do that, and he did. Now, these deputies asked the defendant years ago to stop these posts, to take them.
So just a little bit of background story. Afroman, rapper, made music. And, you know, it's like, is it freedom of speech or is it defamation? Because the law enforcement officers are suing him for defamation. This is not a criminal trial. This is a civil trial.
Down. He didn't. He ramped them up. Freedom of speech. I can say what I want.
Okay.
Worse and worse. You'll see what they are before the trial's over.
I mean, he literally just said it, freedom of speech, but interesting.
Now, I'm going to ask you to come back with me to the summer of 2022. Adams County, here in West Union, here in this courthouse, the sheriff's office downstairs. There's a group of deputy sheriffs, several of them. A lot of them were raised here in Adams County, lived almost all their lives here. A lot of them have had their whole law enforcement careers here in Adams County. Some of them left Adams County for a while but came back home here to be with the people.
All right, y'all, we in Adams County, but I don't know where in Adams County we are. Oh, wait, Cincinnati? Oh, are we in Ohio? We might be in Ohio, y'all.
That they know and know them. Some of them could have gone to the city, to Cincinnati or Columbus or somewhere else and made more money, but they stayed here in Adams County to be law enforcement officers, deputy sheriffs. They have wives, spouses, husbands, children, go to Adams County schools. This is where their lives are. 7 of those deputy sheriffs are here today. There's Randy Walters there on the left, Mike Estep beside him, Lisa Phillips beside him, Sean Grooms beside him,
4,
Justin Cooley beside him,
5,
Detective Brian Newland beside him,
6,
and Sean Cooley, Justin's father, beside him.
7.
What brought them together was some information
So we have 7 officers that are suing him.
that Brian Newland came across in the summer of 2022. Some information that caused him to have to do something. So he typed up a search warrant, and he took it to a local judge. The local judge looked at it, approved it, signed the search warrant, and Detective Newland started gathering deputy sheriffs to help execute this search warrant, and it was a search of defendant Foreman's property out on Russellville Road here in Adams County. Detective Newland will tell you that any search like this is potentially dangerous, so you like to have as many people as you can. The deputies had guns, of course.
Dangerous? I mean, I still don't know what the search warrant is about. I have no idea why they raided his place. Lemon Pound Cake is the name of his album. He got it from one of the police looking at his lemon pound cake that his sister made. Okay, that's like one of the funniest part because yeah, I heard there was a raid, I think, and then one of the officers like saw the lemon pound cake and like I don't know if he was like licking his lips or something like that, but apparently it might have looked tempting. It might have looked like the officer was wanting to eat it. I don't know. It just sounds so stupid, but it's comedic.
A couple of them had rifles, which is normal protocol in a situation like this. And there were about 10 of them altogether who were gathered to execute this search warrant in August of 2022. And these 7 were some of those deputies.
Okay.
The evidence is going to show that they approached, the evidence will show, first of all, none of these deputies had any idea when they woke up that morning that they were going to be executing a search warrant. None of them had any idea that by doing their duties that day, their lives would be turned upside down.
Damn,
That
upside
evening,
down?
they approached the premises, spread out the way they had it planned. They knocked on the door, no answer. Tried the doors were locked, doors were secured. They ended up gaining entry with a battering ram, had to knock the door down. Again, that's procedure that happens in executing warrants when that's the way you need to get in. Nobody was home. Nobody was home. Mr. Foreman wasn't home. He was away in Chicago doing a show. The deputies searched the house. They found a...
Oh, Afroman wasn't even home. Okay. Wait, so what is it that they had to... Why did they have to search his house? Are they looking for drugs?
Small amount of marijuana. They found a significant amount of cash. They seized the marijuana. They seized the
Okay, he says they found a small amount of marijuana, but a significant amount of cash. I mean, some people just got cash. Okay.
cash. That's what they do. And that was pretty much it. No evidence of a major crime was found. And so what happened was, after a while, the local sheriff ordered that, decided there's not going to be any charges filed here, and so he ordered the cash to be returned. It was over $4,000 total cash found in some of Mr. Foreman's clothing and another place in his house.
Wait a second. When he said a significant amount of cash, I was thinking like 50 grand cash, 100 grand cash, 30 grand maybe. $4,000? That's how much they found in his house? $4,000! It's a lot, but it's not like, if $4,000 nothing, I wouldn't like, it's nothing to go crazy over. He said a significant amount of cash. Okay, maybe it's just me. I just thought it would be like the, 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40, 50, 100 grand, 200 grand, something like that.
Shortly after the cash was returned to Mr. Foreman, he began claiming on the internet and every place he could that the sheriff's deputies had stolen $400 from of his money, hadn't returned it. Okay. You're going to hear the evidence about that, and we're going to demonstrate to you that that's not true and that he knew it wasn't true. There was an independent investigation done by Claremont County, but that didn't keep him from continuing to declare that Brian Newland in particular and the rest of these deputies are thieves. Okay, that's just the beginning of it. Then he went beyond calling these deputies thieves.
Wait, quick question though. Was this like viral? Was it like nationwide viral? Was it worldwide viral? Or was it like local news viral? Because I feel like for people who didn't hear about this case, now they definitely know about it because it's all over the internet. It's everywhere now.
As I've indicated to you, he called Brian Newland a pedophile.
Ooh.
Not called him. He posted it, published it all over the internet in various posts.
Why?
He found a photo of Detective Newland from a Shop with a Cop event that Mr. Newland attended with little kids, disadvantaged kids in the community, Shop with a Cop, get them to know law enforcement. Mr. Foreman found a photo of Brian Newland holding one of these children that he worked with. And Mr. Foreman blocked out the face and put a smiley face on it and posted this picture of Brian Newland, and it says, Brian Newland is a pedophile. Watch your kids around this man. He likes to fondle little boys' testicles. Posted it all over the internet, not once, not twice, many, many times, seen thousands of times by people.
What the fuck? Okay, that's a little unhinged.
People in the community started making comments to Detective Newland. His daughter came home from school crying because some kids had called their dad a pedophile.
Ooh.
He used to coach cross-country teams. Some of the kids on his cross-country team started calling him a thief and a pedophile. He'll testify, he'll tell you that his daughters used to have kids over all the time. They like to hang out at his house and do things. After all this started, that stopped happening. Like, kids didn't come over. Finally, Detective Newland felt like he couldn't continue to work in Adams County anymore. Adams County was his dream job. He started here as a deputy, worked his way up to detective. This is where he wanted to spend his career, but things soured out.
Mujer says they raided him for supposed drug trafficking and kidnapping. What was their source? Oh, did they have an informant? Informant said he had a dungeon with women in it, secret rooms and house and drugs. None was true. Who was this informant? Did they have any corroborating evidence to semi-support this whatsoever? Well, I guess like when you get swatted, it's usually like under like exigent circumstances, like, oh, like, there's something happening right now, someone's in danger, or they're putting themselves in danger, and then they get swatted. Was it like that kind of? Is that where we were at? Oh, geez. Okay. I mean, honestly, I kind of do feel bad for Mr. Newland here. It kind of sucks, but let's see. Let's wait until we get the full story.
He couldn't stand working here anymore. He resigned his job from the Adams County Sheriff's Department and went to Cincinnati and now works for the Norwood Police Department. He commutes, drives every day because he felt like he can't work here anymore.
That's rough.
Now, Mr. Foreman, as I indicated a moment ago, saved his most severe attacks for Lisa Phillips.
All right, Lisa?
Lisa Phillips worked as a resource officer in the Adams County schools for 18 years. She used to greet the children, including Mr. Foreman's children, when they were dropped off at school in the morning. Said hello to them, made them feel welcome.
Sorry, resource officer, there's so many different names now for like law enforcement. Is a resource officer someone that works at the school and they're like basically the security, right?
Mr. Foreman posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with other women.
Oh.
He used other words. She ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Pussy, 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 eating, blah, 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 over and over, thousands of times on the internet. People saw it, people laughed, people from out of state, but people here in Adams County would sometimes yell at her when they saw her. Hey, Lisa Lickumlow Phillips. That was his nickname for her.
Oh, gosh.
Over and over. This has been going on for like almost 3 years now, folks. And it's taken a heavy toll on her. Her child came home from school crying, saying, because the kids were saying, did your mom have a sex change? Because of what they saw that he had posted. We asked him to stop. He doubled down. Thank you.
Okay, is it like, were they going back and forth though? Because was it just like the raid happened, he thought $400 were stolen, and then he like continued to attack them nonstop? Like, were they fighting back, or what was going on here?
Thank you, Judge. She's out on call doing her duties. Someone yells at her, hey, Lisa Lickumlow calls her a thief. She's had to miss days of work because of the emotional upset. Her doctor has her on medication. Because of this, because of lies. Just Friday, on the eve of trial, he published the most egregious thing you can imagine. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I think you will in this trial. It's basically pornography about Lisa Phillips. Mr. Foreman also targeted Deputy Randy Walters for special treatment. In several videos seen by thousands of people, Mr. Foreman declares, I used to fuck his wife. I used to fuck his wife doggy style. His daughter came home upset because the kids at school were saying, hey, is Afroman your father?
Oh, jeez.
We asked him to stop. He didn't. He's still published. There's new videos today coming out. In your face, I'm going to do what I want. Justin Cooley was targeted by Mr. Foreman as a thief. Sean Cooley, Mike Eastep, and Sean Grooms all suffered by being called a thief. They're sheriffs. They go to people's houses to do things. Hey, you're going to steal my money too?
Are these like, I'm assuming these are kids. These are just kids, right? I mean, yeah, it sucks, but I mean, kids are pretty fucking immature.
Their reputations have been damaged. It's harder for them to do their jobs. You'll hear all the evidence. That's what this case is about in terms of the facts. At the end of the case, you'll have to decide if Mr. Foreman should be held responsible for what he's done. That's what the case is about. Should he?
They raided his house, broke his shit, stole his money, and told him to get over it.
Be held responsible. I indicated during our jury selection process the kind of damages we're going to be asking for, the non-economic, the value damages. You'll hear all the evidence. You'll have to decide how bad was this.
I haven't seen anything. Did you see that Lickumlow Lisa video? It's wild. No, I haven't seen anything.
I think you're going to decide it wasn't just a little minor, said something bad about you. It was about as bad as you can imagine for these deputies. Reputation, pain and suffering, humiliation, personal embarrassment, loss of reputation, all that stuff. You're going to have to put a value on it. And I will tell you this, as I said earlier, I'll try to help give some guidance. You can reject it or not, because it's your choice. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be asking you for a number for all these people that is in the 7 figures. That's how serious we take this.
7 figures.
And there's also a punitive damages element that may go to you, depending on what the judge decides. And that's going to be another decision you'll have to make based on how bad you think this is and what this conduct deserves that's been done to these people.
We should watch the videos because they are evidence for the trial. I guess I'm coming in like a juror. I don't really have a lot of knowledge about this. I know that Afroman, something happened a few years ago, and that's about it. And then the only thing I know right now is lemon pound cake.
At the end of the day, it's about what's legal, what's moral, what needs to be done to make up in some way for what's been done to these deputies that have...
Wait, I have a question though. Wait for it, Corey. They played during court the entire 14.5-minute long song. They do. Am I gonna get copyright for it? For any other attorneys or any other streamers who are watching this? Were they able to watch it without getting copyright strike? I don't know if I can watch it on stream.
Spent their careers defending this community and living in this community. That's all I have. Thank you.
Corey's jaw's about to drop.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is David Osborne Jr. I represent Joseph Foreman. He does go by the stage name Afroman. And I want to thank you for your service today. This is not going to be an easy case. This is going to take a week of dedication of you to go through. Not an easy thing to ask.
A week? I don't think
But
it's a week long.
something that we appreciate you are willing to do. This case is about the freedom of speech protections contained within the First Amendment of the United States and the Ohio Constitution. It is about an American citizen's right to make public comments about the actions of public officials, actions that took place in his own home, actions that took place within.
Okay, you won't get copyrighted. Okay, does anyone know who else watched the Afroman Trial? They were fine, right? They were fine. I never seen anyone get the strike. Okay, Afroman, please don't strike us.
His home were part of his artistic, creative expressions. And Americans maintain a right to criticize, to mock public officials. And that includes law enforcement officers. On August 21st of 2022, Detective Brian Newland drafted a search warrant. That search warrant was based upon an interview conducted with a confidential informant. That confidential informant gave Mr. Newland information. He put it in a search warrant, and then he went and he saw Judge Roy Gabbard. And Roy signed it. From
Is
there,
this just Roy?
they went to execute that very same day. Officers from the Adams County Sheriff's Office, 7 of the 10, descended upon Mr. Foreman's residence with a hastily prepared search warrant.
That's not the judge that approved the search warrant, right? I don't think so, but...
For a man who's famous for a song that said, "I got high," the amount of force used was excessive, to say the least. After all, based on the song, a bag of Doritos would have been enough to take him out. But they deemed it necessary to not only go to his residence with assault rifles, body armor, and even a riot shield to execute their search warrant. And all that led to a destructive search of Mr. Foreman's residence. Deputies searched Mr. Foreman's home, every one of his outbuildings, behind the couch, under the hood of a car. And you know what they found? A couple little joints, which, let's face it, because I got high, that was expected. And then they found cash. His cash, not theirs. His.
Can we reiterate how much cash it was? Because the other guy said it was a significant amount, and then later on said like $4,000. I just want to make sure that was verified. Was it like a significant amount in the safe, and then $4,000 was like on the counter, or was it just a total of $4,000?
They seized all that. It was cataloged, returned to the office by Brian Newland. Newland then does what's required by law. After you search, you have to return a thing to the court that says every single thing you seized, a return on your search warrant to tell the court what you took. In that, he puts a number for the amount of cash that was there.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Foreman, well, let me back up, because there's something I forgot during the search.
Okay, Runkle, Emily, all right, Jim and them. Okay, all right. Penguins, yeah, I saw also Charlie did a video, a Tozy. Okay, all right, so hopefully, maybe we should be good, hopefully.
For a search for marijuana, or whatever was in the search warrant, we'll introduce that later. They disconnected his security camera system. He has a security camera system in the house. He's had break-ins before. Most Americans, he has a security camera system. Yet in the middle of their search, they disconnect it.
Why?
They say it's going to be because they want to take it for evidence.
Oh, okay.
But you know where that evidence ended up? On the couch over there.
Oh.
Just disconnect it and leave it there.
Oh.
Now, what precipitated next is the primary focus of the lawsuit. Mr. Foreman did what he's done through his entire career. He took his life experiences and turned them into music, social commentary, and artistic expression. After all, one only need to look at the song, Because I Got High. The lyrics are there. I was going to clean my room because I got high. He was rapping about his life then, and his posts are talking about his life and his experiences.
Aside from Because I Got High, were there any other was there any other songs that were like huge? I remember that song. That was like when I think I was in high school. Dude, my friends were like obsessed with it.
During the search of Mr. Foreman's home, deputies' actions during the search was captured in two places. One, the security system of Mr. Foreman. Joe's security system was active until they cut it. You also have body camera footage. Now, we don't have body camera footage for all 10. Not everybody was wearing body cam. But the officers that did, there is body cam footage. And he used this footage from both those locations to make his music videos. He posted them on social media, like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and even TikTok. The plaintiffs decided they did not like what Joe had to say about him, or how they portrayed him, or how he used the footage of their behavior as their job as law enforcement officers, as public officials. Their response was to sue him in order to silence his freedom of speech, threaten his livelihood. After all, have you ever heard of a law enforcement officer suing a person for making a social commentary on him? Or have you ever heard of an officer suing anybody because someone said they didn't like what they had to say? Officers deal with it all the time. I dealt with it during my election. You don't sue people. You respect the freedom of this country and move on. Because, let's face it, if we don't have freedom of speech, what else is there? 250 years ago, the founders of this great country wanted to limit the government's involvement in what government officials had power over to say. And that's why we have the freedom of speech we have today. Before we get to the evidence, I want you to understand this case started with a number of claims. Of them, 2 were dismissed by the court.
Do not go there. Do not go there.
Oh no. So he was talking about how there was 2 other claims that were dismissed, and the judge was like, you better shut the fuck up. All right, Mr. Defense Attorney, let me replay back again.
Claims. Of them, 2 were dismissed by the court.
Do not go there. Do not go there. You know and I know the jury doesn't need to know what's not there. I'm not hiding the ball. Claims filter out like they should. I gave you instructions, and you don't need to get distracted about what's not in front of you.
I don't know if you can hear him, but he says, ladies and gentlemen, I give instructions, and you don't need to get distracted about what's not in front of you. You know, I feel like the judge, that reprimand, a little harsh. I'd be like, do not go there. Come over here. Come sidebar. Get over here. Get over here. Let me talk to you real quick. Damn.
Mr. Klingler talked about punitive damages, maybe, but you don't need to know that because we're not there.
Mr. Klanger talked about punitive damages, maybe, but you don't need to know that because we're not there. I'll tell you that if you need to know it later. That's what the judge says.
I'll tell you that if you need to know it later. There's a lot of things this case is not about. So he doesn't talk about what it's not about. It's only what it is about. Go ahead.
He said there's a lot of things in this case it's not about, so he doesn't get to talk about what it's not about. It's really what it is about. Go ahead. What was that? Okay. That was a very interesting way to put it.
Forgive me. I have to readjust my opening slightly. It should be noted that public officials, such as these gentlemen and Ms. Phillips over here, are held to a higher standard than an ordinary person. They're public officials. They are expected to be criticized and mocked. The evidence will indicate that Mr. Foreman created songs with titles like Will You Repair My Door? Lemon Pound Cake? These songs went viral, yes. People connected with the message and understood what Joe was trying to say. The videos and songs resonated with the public because they addressed something that people care deeply about as Americans, and that is how law enforcement officers conduct themselves.
Wait, I am genuinely curious, though, for you guys. Did you guys hear about these songs before this trial? Repair My Door, Lemon Pound Cake, and any other Afroman songs. Besides from I Got High. Besides that, from that one. Because I feel like the reason why it's extra viral now is because of this trial, which I don't think that's what the officers wanted.
Joe also made statements on social media about the search and the officers involved. Some of these statements were openly critical and expressed Joe's opinions about what happened. Statements about missing money. And he used some strong language, some exaggerated language. We call it hyperbolic language, to present his message and his opinion. But all these statements were a matter of public concern as well as statements about his personal opinions. The experience of law enforcement officers executing a destructive search warrant is well beyond question, as it is a matter of public concern. The plaintiffs are going to point to specific statements that Joe made. They're going to claim these statements are defamatory. They are going to attempt to remove them from their context. Statements aren't in a vacuum. There's context. If you get called a name...
That's what I want. I want more context about this.
My wife yells at me, there's probably context to it. That context is what we're going to show you. Because if you look at those statements in isolation and simply ignore the conduct that sparked them, you can't understand really what was going on. You'll be asked to forget much of that context of the statements. At least not the... I should say the least of it is that the plaintiffs are public officials and the public has a right to criticize them. The evidence will show that Mr. Foreman's statements fall into 3 categories. The first, many of these statements are his opinions. Opinions are not assertions of fact. They are Joe's subjective views about his encounter with these public officials and the execution of their duties. The First Amendment protects the right to express those opinions, even if they're harsh, even if they're mean, even if the person who is the subject of them hates them. They are protected. Second, many of the statements are exaggerated, rhetorical exaggeration, as you might expect from a musician. After all, if you didn't have Because You Got High, if I said I just didn't want to clean my room, no one would have bought that song. You have to exaggerate something. You'll see he used colorful language, sarcasm, and satire. No reasonable person would have understood these statements to be literal assertions of fact. For example, Mr. Foreman created nicknames and made comparisons to cartoon characters. No reasonable person would understand those as a literal assertion of fact. That is a rhetorical satire flourish that has always been part of our social and political commentary in this country. After all, pick up the newspaper, you're going to see a political cartoon making fun of somebody. Watch Saturday Night Live. They make fun of people all the time. Hey, they make fun of Joe. It just happens. It's part of our freedom of speech and also Mr. Foreman's artistic expression.
Lady says, yes, I was following it when they raided him. Oh, wow. So it's been like, what, 4 years now? No idea. Yes, I heard her way back. Never heard of this guy until the trial. 11-pound cake. I had heard. Oh, this trial definitely pushed us in social media. Once the case started, I went back and watched all the videos. Oh, no.
The third is the extent that any of the statements assert facts. They relate to matters of public concern. Matters of public concern are exempted. These statements address how the search was conducted, what actions were taken, and how Mr. Foreman experienced this as a homeowner, with these people executing their hasty search warrant. Indeed, the public's concern for such issues is reflected in the viral response that his content got. The plaintiffs bear the burden of proof in this matter, not Joe. They must carry the day. They must prove every element of their claim. Looking at the invasion of privacy due to false light, it's one of the claims that they're claiming. The plaintiffs must prove that Mr. Foreman portrayed them in a false light that would be highly offensive to a reasonable person. The evidence will show that he did not. He used real actual footage of them performing their duties. Stuff in the public domain. Joe's statements were based entirely on his personal experience and within his county of residence, which that is something I do want to clear up. Mr. Foreman lives in Adams County, not Hamilton County. Mr. Klingler was wrong about that, so he is a resident of this county. Regarding the defamation claim, plaintiffs must prove that Mr. Foreman made false statements of fact, not his opinions. That's very important. Because we all have opinions as Americans. It's one of the great things about this country is we can share our opinions whether we like them or not. Whether they like them or not, they can hear my opinions. But they must prove those statements were not opinions. Because public officials, they must prove that Joe acted with actual malice rather than just simply exercising his First Amendment right. The evidence will show they cannot meet this burden. Plaintiffs claim that Joe portrayed them in a false light, but evidence will show Joe used direct footage from security cameras. We can see what they did. They executed the search warrant. It's all on camera. There's nothing false about showing them that way. There's nothing false about Mr. Foreman having opinions about how they did and them. However, when they executed that search warrant, that became a matter of public scrutiny. People could watch it. People could see what was done and form their own opinions. And they can share those opinions. And he has a right to create artistic expression based on those opinions, based on that content. The plaintiffs, it goes without saying that they don't like what Mr. Foreman said about him. But they don't have to. That's part of our right in this country. They don't like his comment.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the state to overcome that. Or sorry, not the state. It's gonna be hard for the law enforcement and their attorneys. Sorry, did I say state earlier? Not the state, by the way. It's law enforcement and their attorneys. But it's gonna be hard for them to overcome the fact that the statements that were made were not opinions. I don't know how they're gonna differentiate between the two of them.
They don't like his art. But the First Amendment does not protect speech that we like. It protects all speech within it. It protects commentary, criticism, especially on occasions such as this. It protects speech that I would not like. Speech I've suffered. It protects it. You may not like the speech you hear, but it's protected.
Yeah, he has a Christmas album. Interesting. I didn't know about that.
Throughout this trial, you'll hear
Check it out
testimony and
this
see
year.
evidence that demonstrates several key points. You will see the actual videos and social media posts Mr. Foreman created. You'll be able to judge for yourselves whether they are false, whether they're his opinions, whether they're artistic expression that is all protected.
Give me a second. Oh, okay. It's not happy with this one. Give me a second. Let me do 480. Jesus. All right, let's see if this works. Did at the end? Or he did? All right, we're at the 30-minute mark right now. Yo, what is happening? Let me refresh this.
You'll be able to judge for yourselves whether they are false, whether they're his opinions, whether they're artistic expression that is all protected. It's about the right to comment on criticized public officials without fear of retribution, without fear of getting sued. It is about the right to create artistic expressions that are matters of public concern. The plaintiffs are law enforcement officers. They perform a cardinal public function. But with that public role comes public accountability. It also comes a certain standard that you have to understand. And as public officials, they can be criticized. They may not like it, but it's allowed.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, it's not you. The trial video is all jacked up. Oh, no. I think WCPO were the only ones that live streamed it, right? Well, thank you, WCPO. We do appreciate you.
Plaintiffs have the burden of proving their claims. The evidence will show they cannot meet that burden. The evidence will show that Joe's videos, posts, and commentary were artistic expression for matters of legitimate public concern, his opinions on the law enforcement officers, and how they were performing their duties. If the plaintiffs prevail in this case, well, what message will that send to this country if they prevail? It sends the message that if you criticize law enforcement, if you comment on how they conduct themselves, if you mock them, if you create art with them in it, they can sue you. That's not the America we live in. That's not why we have a Constitution in the First Amendment. That's not why the First Amendment is in the Constitution of the state of Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, upon the examination of the evidence at the end of this trial, I'm confident you'll conclude that Joe did nothing wrong. While the plaintiffs are unhappy, upset with what was said, he exercised a right he had, a right that every American has. He commented on matters of public concern. He created art. He did what any stand-up citizen would do. He made his voice heard to the people. At the end of this trial, I'm going to ask you to return a verdict in favor of Mr. Foreman on every one of their claims. I'll ask that you vindicate his First Amendment rights. And I'll ask that you send a message to the American people that you can criticize public officials and that we are not living in a dictatorship where if you don't like what is said, you just sue someone to shut them up. Thank you.
Okay. I'm
We're gonna
intrigued
start
by
calling
both
witnesses,
sides.
But I'm going to tell you what this case is not. Okay, this
All right, this fucking judge. He doesn't even have a microphone. Let me have the captions on. I was going to start calling witnesses, but I could tell you what this case is not. This case is not going to be an analysis of why the magistrate issued a search warrant or what the facts were leading to the search warrant or the backstory of the warrant. What I want to know. That's a subject for criminal cases. Ugh, lame.
case is not going to be an analysis of why the magistrate issued a search warrant or what the facts were leading to the search warrant or the backstory of the warrant. That's the subject for criminal cases.
So the fact that there's a search warrant is what this case is about, not the backstory of it. You hear people talk about criticism, the why, and the whole deal. That's not relevant testimony we're living with. There was a search warrant, nothing backstory. This case is not about excessive force in entering. The courts already determined as a matter of law that it was not excessive. You'll see testimony of damage, but that's the legal standard about whether it's more customary. Wait, should he be telling them that? Is this like too much information to be giving to the jury? Do we need to tell them this? So it wasn't excessive, okay? But that's the legal standard about whether it's more customary or expected in the realm of a search warrant. Search warrants are lawful force entry, so you won't get what was that too much force that's outside the realm of the testimony. As I call these third thing, this is not about vindication of the defendant or messaging to the public. That things that happen from the public branches of government, the legislation, or the executive offices. Messaging is not what you're conservative. It's a message that you're sending. You're not messaging. It's all about how these facts affect these people. So when these little distractions and diversions come at you, I'm going to try to continue to narrow and keep you focused not on the distractions, but on the issues and the law. Otherwise, you're going to ask later on, why did the judge give us instructions on messaging? Because that's not how this comes out. So I'll do this periodically along the way when things start going to astray. Okay. Ready to go, Mr. Clear? Okay. Damn, he's giving so much information. Is this allowed? I don't know. We're in civil court, right? All right, well, let's see what happens.
So I'll do this periodically along the
To
way.
me, it kind of sounds like, hey, the defense, they're going to try to distract you. And don't worry, I'm going to lead you guys astray. You know, we're going to make sure if we start going astray, I'm going to bring you guys back in. Okay.
When things start going astray. Ready to go, Mr. Klingler?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tee it up.
Plaintiff calls Detective Brian Newland.
All right, so witness number one, Newland. Newland was the one that was mentioned in the plaintiff's opening statement. The PDF one took a picture, was like a shop a copy event with kids and something about fondling testicles. His daughter came home from school. She was crying because the kids were making fun of her. He used to teach, he used to teach cross country, or I don't know, some sport. I think I messed it up. Or lacrosse? He used to teach something, but the kids don't come over anymore. He resigned in Adams, and now he commutes over to Cincinnati. All right. We get to hear from Brian Newland. Just in case you guys forgot who Brian Newland is. Witness 1, Brian Newland.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? As this, you shall answer unto God.
I do.
Thank you. You can be seated.
Because you're a public official, you won't expect to have your private residence address. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
My name is Brian Newland.
And Mr. Newland, where do you live? No
Oh, he looks kind of young, actually. When I say young, like, he looks like in his, 30s. I thought he was going to be a lot older.
street address, just generally.
I live in Adams County, Ohio.
And how long have you lived in Adams County?
From 1995 to 2010, and then from 2015 to current.
What were you doing between 2010 and 2015?
I was in the United States Army.
Do we not have a microphone for the witness that's testifying on the stand? Oh my fucking god. Guys, I have captions on. Let me know if you want me to boost up the audio a little bit, but I can't boost up the audio without boosting the guy that's asking the questions.
Honorable discharge?
Yes,
What do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
And when did you start in law enforcement?
I originally started in law enforcement in 2014
And what position was that?
as a deputy sheriff
Where?
at the Adams County Sheriff's Office.
And then how long were you a deputy in the Adams County Sheriff's Department?
The Adams County Sheriff's Office was my first full-time job in law enforcement, and that was from 2014 until 2023.
All right. And why did you become a deputy sheriff?
After I got out of the military, I just wanted a job that I thought would be exciting, something different, so I chose law enforcement.
Do you have family here in Adams County?
Yes,
Can you tell us who?
all my family's here, my kids, my grandparents, my mom, my brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles.
Did your children go to school in Adams County, or do they?
Yes,
You were involved in the execution of a search warrant back in August of 2022.
yes, I was.
I think I can get away with boosting the audio just a little bit more without... I think we can get it to 240. Let's try that.
And I want to take you back to the night of August 21st, 2022. Were you part of a team that searched Mr. Foreman's home?
Yes,
What was your role in obtaining that warrant?
I prepared the search warrant based off information I was provided, and then I met with the judge and the prosecutor at the time prior to serving the search warrant.
And was a warrant approved?
Yes,
Can you tell us where what the subject of the search was? The property of the search.
it was the residence of Mr. Foreman. I believe the address is 1699 Russellville Road.
Okay, that's here at Adams County, correct?
Yes,
Now, were the other plaintiffs here in the courtroom, were they also deputy sheriffs or part-time deputy sheriffs that participated in that search?
yes, they were.
And was Mr. Foreman at home during the search?
No,
Were Mr. Foreman's children present during the warrant execution?
no.
Was anyone present other than you and your fellow officers?
At the time of arrival, no.
Was anything seized or taken from Mr. Foreman's home?
Yes, there was some money and a small amount of marijuana and some miscellaneous drug paraphernalia.
Why was the cash taken?
Yeah, small amount of marijuana, paraphernalia, and some money was taken. Now, I boosted up the audio. Is that a lot bit better? It is a lot better now. Are we good? I hope that helps.
It's common with any type of drug seizure. We seize the money in cases proceeds from drug-related sales or drug trafficking activity.
Was it that money potential evidence?
Correct.
What was your role in seizing this cash, Detective?
I'm sorry.
Well, maybe I got ahead of myself. Was cash located in the property? Do
Yes,
you remember how much approximately?
approximately $4,000.
And did you play a role in taking that cash?
Yes.
What was your role?
I was provided the cash, or provided the money that was located by another deputy. I counted out the money, put it in an evidence bag, and then at the end of the search, I transported it back.
Yeah, the plaintiff's attorney said it was a significant amount of cash, and $4,000, like, I don't know. I'm thinking like drug money. Okay, I'm thinking of like some like the crazy amounts, you know, like 50 grand. Like he had 50 grand cash, 100 grand cash. No, he had $4,000. Like, oh, okay, all right.
To the sheriff's office.
All right. Did you take any of the money?
No.
Did you ever take any money from the evidence bag?
No.
Did you?
Hey Jake, how are you doing today? Have you seen this? It's crazy. I haven't heard much about this. I just heard about some of the music videos, you know, and some of the cash. But what's going on? Hello. Hey Ruse, how are you doing today? What's going on? Cos had two conflicting stories from the informant, yet left one story out, and then went to the judge. So they asked for what they got. Yeah, because I'm like thinking, okay, well, who was the prosecutor who decided to, you know, give this a green light? Do we get to know more about the prosecutor? Audio's
Did you ever take
fine.
any of Mr. Foreman's money?
No.
Was your counting of the cash recorded on your body cam?
Yes.
Oh.
And have you had a chance to review that?
I have.
Has Mr. Foreman accused you of taking his money?
Yes.
Are you aware that the cash was ultimately returned to Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
And can you tell us why that was?
The prosecutor at the time decided we're not going to pursue any crime criminal charges, and the property was released back to him.
Okay.
Yeah, because they found nothing.
Were you present when Mr. Foreman picked up the cash that had been seized?
No.
Do you know whether any press was invited to attend the return of this cash?
I learned that there was later.
Okay, but you weren't there.
Correct.
Can you tell us what happened when the money was returned to Mr. Foreman?
Your Honor, I would object to that. He's already testified he wasn't there.
Okay, let me rephrase it. That's fair. Was an allegation made that there was less cash than there should have been?
Yes.
And who made that allegation?
I believe Mr. Foreman.
How did you learn about this discrepancy?
The evidence technician that released his property had called me and told me that the account was short.
Tell us what you mean by that. The count was short.
Just that there was more money listed than what there was inside, and that was less money was returned than what was indicated
And where was this amount indicated?
on the bag.
On evidence bag?
Correct.
So I'm understanding you correctly. The amount of money that was indicated on the evidence bag was more than what was actually returned to Mr. Foreman.
Correct.
All right. And were you able to account for that discrepancy?
I wasn't there.
What happened?
Once the allegation was made,
So someone counted the money wrong and then wrote the wrong amount on the evidence bag, and then when they returned the money to Afroman, there was like a discrepancy. Okay. I mean, they did say that they counted the money on the body cam. I wonder if that lines up.
sheriff contacted the Claremont County Sheriff's Office to conduct an independent investigation.
Do you know whether an independent investigation was conducted by the Claremont County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
And do you know the results of that investigation?
They were to determine that I miscounted the money during my original count.
Okay, so he's the guy that miscounted the money.
All right. Did they conclude that any money had been taken?
They said that there was not any money taken.
Did that stop Mr. Foreman from continuing to claim you had stolen?
But you see, when they did the investigation, how long did it take for them to conduct this independent investigation to find out that he miscounted the money?
$400?
No.
I feel like timeline really matters.
Did he accuse
here.
anyone other than you of stealing money?
Multiple times he accuses all of being thieves.
Do you know where he made these allegations?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, social media.
How did you learn about these accusations on the internet that you were a thief?
Friends and family were sending them to me.
Were the accusations true?
No.
I think you said you've reviewed your body-worn camera from that night.
Yes.
And were you able to tell what happened?
From what it appeared as if I began counting money, I stopped to reshuffle money that was in my hand and then began counting again after putting money down. And that was, at some point there was a discrepancy in the amount that there was and the amount that I counted.
Was it a miscount?
Yes.
I want to This is the
Now,
part I can't
were any
believe.
charges that are brought against Mr. Foreman as a result of this warrant execution? I may have asked you that, I'm sorry.
No.
Sometime after the execution of this warrant, Detective Newland, did you become aware that Mr. Foreman had posted certain things other than being a thief about you on social media?
Yes.
And how did you learn about these posts?
Friends and family were also sending them to me.
Ms. Bradshaw, could we see Exhibit 16?
Yes. What is she wanting? It's Carla.
Okay, can we blow that up
Oh
some?
gosh. Is this his Facebook? Foreman Joseph's post. This is the uneducated, can't count pedophile police officer that stole my money. His name is baby making Brian child molesting new baby mama newborn Newland. Detective Brian Newland. I have a song coming out about him. The chorus goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Brian Newland is a flag. He used to play with the little toys. Now he plays with the little... Watch your little boys around Brian Newland. He's very bold. He will, the little boys, and right in front of you in broad daylight. This is a public service announcement. Stay safe. Oh my God. September 2nd, 2023.
All right.
That's unhinged, dude. Okay.
Detective Newland, we're showing Exhibit 16. Can you tell us what this is?
It's one of the posts from Mr. Foreman that I was sent about me being a pedophile.
And am I reading the date right? September 2nd, 2023?
Yes.
Hey, Pato. How are you doing today?
And I'm not going to ask you to read it, but I will read part of it just to make sure it's in the record and that people are clear on what it said.
All right, you read it.
This is the uneducated, can't count pedophile police officer that stole my money. His name is baby making Brian child molesting newborn baby mama newborn Newland, Detective Brian Newland. I have a song coming out about him. The chorus goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Brian Newland is a flag. He used to play with little toys. Now he plays with little boys. Watch your little boys around Brian Newland. He's very bold. He will fondle little boys' testicles and butt cheeks right in front of you in broad daylight. This is a public service announcement. Stay safe. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Man, that really made it into the court transcript.
Can we see Exhibit 17, please?
You're in for a wild ride. Oh, I know. We ready. Oh shit, there's more.
Can you just scroll down so we can see the whole thing for a second? All right.
What is this? William Newland. Oh, is that his brother? Should I read this or is he gonna read this? I thought I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Okay, here's September 3rd, 2023. So the day after. Good morning, baby making Brian child molesting new baby mama newborn Newland, Brian Newland. If you pay me back the money you stole from me, I won't tell the world about your PDF pilgrim family. You know, ... like your brother. That's name. Will you stop? His name is William. He said, "Will you stop?" Sending Dick Pick Williams, aka William Newland. If you get arrested in Adams County, all you got to do is lie on me and Brian will let you go. Just like they let the unconfidential informant Tasty Tasha Chamberlain go after she attempted murder by lying to the police and sending them to my house. Looking for a fake dungeon, fake kidnap victims, tell these uneducated, no-counting douchebags anything and they will grab your guns, kick you down your doors, and try to kill you in front of your kids. Oh yeah, no charges against her. Or, by the way, for giving false information to the police or attempting to... Okay, do we get more background story about this informant? I need to know more. Oh yeah, no charges against her or you, by the way, for giving false information to the police and attempting to have me murdered. Brian wants me in jail so I don't expose his stealing PDF family. Bring me my money, Brian, and this can all go away. You want to be Eminem, whack-ass rapper. Are they related? Who's William Newland?
So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but
All right, I'll let him read it.
if you pay me back the money you stole from me, I won't tell the world about your pedophile pilgrim family, you know, like your brother. That's named Will You Stop Sending Dick Pick Williams, a.k.a. William Newland. If you get arrested in Adams County, all you got to do is lie on me and Brian will let you go. And is that a picture of your brother against beside your picture?
Yes.
Oh, it is his brother. Okay, what his brother been convicted of?
And was your brother convicted of a misdemeanor?
Yes.
What was that?
I don't recall what the charge was.
It was a misdemeanor charge.
It was a misdemeanor, correct?
Did you have anything to do with that crime?
No, I did not.
Have you ever been accused or convicted of pedophilia?
No.
What was his brother? What kind of misdemeanor charge
Let's
was
look
it?
at
I'm so
Exhibit C,
nosy.
number-
I need to know. What was the misdemeanor charge?
18, is that a video?
Yes.
All right. Shall we play?
You should read. Oh, you should read the search warrant that was submitted. Oh, does it not make it in trial evidence? If you guys have the search warrant, can you link it in my Discord? Any other stuff about this trial? Feel free to link it in the Discord. We have a true crime section.
The whole thing? Or what, do we have a clip?
Yes.
All right, now we got a clip.
Oh, yes. Baby.
Oh, he made T-shirts. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So now we got a TikTok video. Made T-shirts. Jesus, it's wild.
Baby making Brian newborn Newland. Yeah, the serial statutory rapist. With the pedophile brother fired from the People's Police Station. Will you stop sending Dick Pig Williams?
All right, and let's take a look at number 10.
Yeah, I feel like I need to know what the brother got a misdemeanor for. Now what? Okay. 150 weeks ago.
Is
Oh,
this
fucking
a-
Instagram.
yeah,
Look at the date.
Let's see.
All right, let's read this one. This is an Instagram post from 150 weeks ago. Who wants to do the math on that and when this was posted? Baby making Brian newborn Newland couldn't make it in hip hop. He used to do hard drugs. He snitched on all his friends, then joined the sheriff's department. Now he steals money from traffic stops, bogus raids, and from Adams, County Sheriff's evidence room under the camouflage of law enforcement. He can't write his own raps. That's why he became an Adams County sheriff, so he could steal money from a real rapper. Baby making Brian newborn Newland t-shirt on sale. Are the shirts still on sale? Are they still up? Oh.
He used to do hard drugs. It says there in the third or fourth line. Did you ever do hard drugs, Detective Newland?
No.
He snitched on all his friends. Do you have any idea what that's all about?
No.
Now he steals money from traffic stops, bogus raids, and from Adams County Sheriff Evidence Room under the camouflage of law enforcement. Did you ever steal money from a traffic stop?
No.
Did you ever steal money from anybody?
No.
Oh, one in chat if you can see this. One in chat. Someone was like, rip? I think we're good. One in chat if you can see me. Almost 3 years ago.
And down below it says, baby making Brian Newland t-shirts on sale. You see that?
Yes.
Let's look at Exhibit 15, please.
All right, this is from 148 weeks ago. Baby making Brian newborn Newland, thief, cheater, and brother of PDF. I hope this post doesn't bring him any humiliation, ridicule, mental stress, and loss of reputation. Hashtag defund the police, at Mr. Checkpoint, hashtag police brutality. 148 weeks ago.
And can you tell, Detective, is this a picture of you at the entering the or somewhere on the property of Mr. Foreman during the search?
Yes.
Security cam or the body cam footage?
And do you know where this was taken? I guess you weren't there.
All right, we got a new one. 149 weeks ago, when I went to get my money and we realized baby making Brian newborn Newland had stolen $400 out of the evidence money. Baby making Brian newborn Newland shirts are now on sale. Buy one of these shirts and help me get my $400 back.
It appears to be the inside of the interview room at the Adams County Sheriff's Office.
Would that have been where his money was returned to him?
Yes.
Were they like egging him on?
And part of what it says is, when I went to get my money and we realized baby-making Brian Newborn Newland had stolen $400 out of the evidence money. Again, did you ever steal any of his money?
No.
Let's take a look at Exhibit 15, please. Or did we do 15?
Yes.
Sorry. Number 2.
Oh, we got some music now.
Yes, Your Honor, I would have an objection to this video.
Tell me what it is.
Your Honor, this objection to this video because this video, if I'm not mistaken, was published within the last 2 weeks. The law on this has changed. Ohio has actually passed what's called an anti-SLAPP law, which therefore extends immunity to things, actually, in a way, increasing a person's freedom of speech rights in Ohio. Thus, this evidence to be tried here would be tried under a completely different standard than when this case was started.
Comments, please?
That law doesn't apply to this case, Judge, or this evidence.
Your Honor, it would apply clearly. He has no analysis other than say that I submitted a written brief to the court on this matter.
I think that was submitted Sunday.
So, like, I'll note the objection, overrule it, allow it to be played. Got your objection down. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, objection overruled. We're gonna play the video.
Can you, Detective Newland, can you see what that sign says?
Yes.
What is it? Would you read it for us?
They stole my money.
Okay. Go ahead and play.
Videos selling my proof. How can you take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short? You vandalized my property, and you filed a lawsuit properly. I'm a rapper, so I'm rapping. What? I can't talk about what happened. Videos I expose my cause.
So what is that?
Brian Newland stole from me.
Sorry. What did you read? Could you read what that said?
Yeah, Brian Newland stole my money.
Brian
Or
Newland
stole
stole
from
my
me.
money. And that was just published in the last few days, as far as you know?
Yes.
Can we look at number 3, please?
Posting videos, selling my proof.
Okay,
So this was aired on Fox 19.
Same basis on it, yes.
noted.
Thank you.
You take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short. You vandalized my property,
I think that's enough for now.
I'm a rapper, so I'm rapping. What? I can't talk about what.
I wonder what the jury was thinking at this point. They must have been like, "What the fuck is what is happening?"
What happened? Videos I expose my cause.
And that was the same video, obviously. Does it tell where that was posted?
It looks like this one is on YouTube.
And the other one was Instagram?
Yes.
So 2 different platforms, same video.
Yes.
Who's paying for their attorney? Are they paying for it out of pocket, or is this being paid for by the sheriff's department? I got lots of questions. A jury did speak out. Oh man, if I was a jury, right now, I'd be like, holy shit! Like, what a trial to be on. I am thoroughly entertained.
And I'm looking specifically about halfway, a little more than halfway down.
All right, you know me. I'm going to read the whole thing. The Sheriff Department, the Adams County Sheriff Department taking false information from an unconfidential informant, lying snitch, rat, Judge Roy Droopy Gabbert signing fictitious, fake, bogus warrants on me today, tomorrow. It'll be anybody he doesn't like, he has access to, especially in Adams County. 3. Adams County Prosecutor David Kelly issuing the fictitious, fake, bogus warrants that Judge Roy Droopy Gabbert signed after video surveillance of the criminals camouflaged as a law enforcement officers of the Adams County Sheriff's Department was exposed by the Adams County Prosecutor David Kelly resigned as Adams County Prosecutor and now has fled to Arizona. He did this to keep from turning over to the communications of a case of a Superior Court for detective baby making Brian Newland stealing money. Not only did he steal money from my house, he stole money out of the evidence room at the Adams County Sheriff's Department away from my house, making the Adams County Sheriff's Department the new crime scene. 5. Ranger Randy Beetle Bailey, Private Pyle Walters, vandalizing property, stealing CDs and DVDs before and after Lieutenant Lickamlisa committed the crime of tampering with evidence, aka a felony, I believe. I don't know. Disconnecting my security cameras. All these criminals and more camouflaged as law enforcement have the audacity to sue me. The victorious victim. Everybody get ready for my new album, The Lawsuit, coming soon. That was September 1st, 2023.
Do you see, Detective, where it's posted, not only did he steal my money from my
Facebook?
house, he stole money out of the evidence room at the Adams County Sheriff's Department away from my house, making the Adams County Sheriff's Department the new crime scene. I'll just stop there. Again, did you ever steal any money from his house or from the Sheriff's Department evidence room?
No.
What's the platform?
I can't see on here.
Facebook?
I'll represent that it's Facebook, Your Honor. So, and we can take that down or whatever. We don't need to keep it up. I don't care. But I'm done with the exhibits right now. Detective, I just want to ask you, the first one we saw with you holding, it looks like a child with a smiley face.
Yeah.
What was that originally a photo of?
That was from one of the shop with the cop events at the sheriff's office.
What's a shop with a cop event?
It's where the community donates money, and then local law enforcement will take lower income.
He's very he's got like a natural smile. So I wonder, I don't know. To me, it seems like he's not even taking this seriously. He seems a little facetious about it, but I don't know if that's just like his normal and natural facial demeanor. I'm like, did someone force him or convince him to be part of this lawsuit? And he was just like, I mean, I guess, sure, why not? Okay. I don't know. He maybe it's just like the facial thing, but he just seems like he's kind of like a little like smiling and giddy up there. I don't know. I can't take him seriously.
Come children to Walmart and let them shop for Christmas.
And did you
Like he kind of has the face of like, I'm just here because they told me to come here. I don't know.
participate in that event regularly?
Yes.
And do you know what year that picture was taken from?
I don't recall.
All right. And the little boy you were holding there, can you tell us anything about who that was? Not his name, of course, but who it was?
Was just a cool little boy that got picked for Shop the Cop and chose me to be his officer.
Chose you to be what?
His officer.
And what did you do? Did you do something with him, shop with him, or what?
We put him in the cruisers, turn the lights and sirens on, parade through town, and we go to Walmart and help him shop. And we come back to the fire department or wherever and help them get their toys ready or play or, and feed them pizza, stuff like that.
And you did that more than 1 year?
Yes.
And that was a photo that Mr. Foreman or somebody on his behalf took and used in that pedophile posting?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems kind of fucked up. Dude, I would feel bad, but we'll see what happened.
So, Detective,
It's like a nice little wholesome event, Like they spend a time with a kid. The kid chooses a cop. They drive him around, go to Walmart, shopping, feed them pizzas, get them toys and stuff like that. Oh boy.
what effect did it have on you when you saw these posts that you're a pedophile?
I was angry, sad, depressed, upset.
Why were you sad or upset? Isn't it just somebody exaggerating or making jokes or making a comment?
I didn't find it funny at all. I work in law enforcement, have kids, have friends, family. I was involved in the schools, and then I'm being blasted all over social media for the entire United States to see that I'm a pedophile.
Did you ever have any evidence that other people were seeing these things, other than the fact that it's on social media? Did anybody ever say anything or do anything to indicate they'd seen it?
I've had comments made to me since day one.
Like what?
If you want the most recent example, yesterday there was a cheer competition at North Adams. I walked my 3-year-old son in to watch his sister cheer, and somebody asked me if that was another little boy I'm touching.
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
What competition?
At the North Adams cheerleading competition.
What other examples?
Every time you go to an event, another comment's made or somebody says something. Another one I can recall was meet the team night for my daughters. We was in line to get slushies, and people were making comments behind me.
What comments?
Just called me a thief and a pedophile, and why was I there? And then started playing music, playing some of his songs on their phones.
Jeez,
Some of
sucks.
Mr. Foreman's Afroman songs?
Yes.
Sounds like you might need to up and leave into a different town. I don't know, man. Oh, I don't. At this point, I'm not really quite sure where he can go, but Yeah, I mean, that sucks, especially when you're kids.
This case isn't about your kids, they're not plaintiffs, but did this have any effect on your kids that affected you in turn?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this. We had a motion, I filed,
I
never
remember,
responded.
he knows better than to ask a question, because I don't care about the kids, because he didn't bring the kids in, so sustain.
What? What did the judge say? Who knows better than to ask a question because I don't care about the kids because he didn't bring the kids in? Wait, what? Let me slow that down a little bit, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this. We had a motion, I filed,
I
never
remember,
responded.
he knows better than to ask a question, because I don't care about the kids, because he didn't bring the kids in, so sustain.
What other indications have you had, Detective, that people are seeing and responding to this accusation that you're a pedophile?
Just what's been said to me. It's been shared, been sent to me. I've had people make comments at games, while in the store. It's just, there's so much stuff's happened, I don't even remember half of it.
So you were a Hamilton County deputy sheriff. Sorry, I said that earlier. You were an Adams County deputy sheriff, and you're not anymore?
Correct.
Why?
I ended up leaving the sheriff's office just because of this, because of being called a pedophile and a thief.
Explain to us just a little more about why that was so upsetting that you actually left your job.
Because the sheriff's office, so I'm from Adams County, is where all my family and friends are from. The sheriff's office was my dream job, my position. I was friends with everybody, and it was where I planned to stay. It's been my career. I dedicated a lot of time, over 10 years, to Adams County. You know, whether it was a call in at 1 o'clock in the morning or working 14 hours, I dedicated a lot of my time to Adams County, and I loved working at the sheriff's office. But it just got to be so much. If you go to a call or take a phone call or you make a traffic stop, something said. You go to Walmart, something said. I stopped going to my kids' games for a little bit because every time I would show up, everybody would be looking at me or something would be said to me, and just spared their embarrassment.
So when did you leave the sheriff's office?
I ended up leaving in October of 2023.
You have. Do your kids' friends come to your house and hang out?
They don't anymore.
Did they used to?
They used to have huge slumber parties, especially on their birthdays. They'd have 10 or 11 kids over, and essentially once this started, it stopped. I don't recall the last time my daughters have had a friend over, if they've had one ever since then.
That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I guess parents are trying to exercise caution, but if these people were your friends, you know, I'm not talking about the kids, I'm talking about like the parents. Like if you're friends with the parents, like what do they know? This is just like satire. It's just like, it's not true. Damn. I mean, maybe you gotta make new friends. Or maybe the kids were all friends with each other and the parents weren't friends with each other. That's a possibility.
Detective, did you ask Mr. Foreman to take down these posts?
I didn't personally.
Did you through your attorney?
Yes.
And have they been taken down?
No.
Are they still there?
Yes.
Those are all of my questions. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty decent first witness. I do generally. I do feel bad for him. The cat. That really sucks. That sucks that he had to deal with it. It sucks that his family had to deal with it. His kids. But let's continue listening. All right. So we listened to this one. I think this is the next one here. Cross-examination. Can't wait for the cross. All right. Now we're in cross-examination of witness number 1 of Detective Newland, who used to work for the Adams County Sheriff's Office. Does not anymore. He had to quit because he's being called a PDF. He was being bullied, and it was not good for his kids, too. Apparently, he would have kids coming over, sleepovers and stuff like that, and now they don't anymore because parents are a little bit scared that the accusations might be true. But we'll see.
So, Brian, you're still employed as a police officer, correct?
Yes.
You're employed in Norwood, correct?
Yes.
When you went to Norwood, you got a pay raise, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You were asked questions about a search warrant. Is it correct to say you were the chief in charge of executing that search warrant?
Correct.
Okay. And you counted all the money?
I did.
You had full control of it the whole time?
Not the entire time, no.
Okay. So, walk me through the process by which you cataloged the money.
So while we were conducting a search of the residence, another deputy located the money, I believe, in a jacket pocket from a suit.
Okay.
He handed me the money, explained to me where he found it. At that point, I start to count it in the same room. Once I count it, I collect it, put it in an evidence bag, and take it downstairs.
Okay. So, let's back up. That was very general. So when you counted it, where did you count it?
I counted it in the bedroom where it was located.
And you counted it on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. And you made specific piles?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's not all the money that was recovered is what was coming out of the suit, right?
Correct.
Where was the other money recovered?
There was more money covered from, I believe it was an office downstairs.
Okay. And where did you count that money at?
In that room.
On the floor?
I don't recall if it was on the floor or maybe on a desk that was there.
Okay. And you were wearing your body cam the whole time?
Yes.
What was the time difference between the suit jacket money and the money downstairs?
I don't recall.
You reviewed your body camera.
Yeah, it's been every year ago. I don't recall what the time frame was.
Now, Mr. Newland, let's ask that question. You were deposed, correct?
Yes.
You were deposed on August 8th of 2025, correct?
Correct.
Have you watched the body cam since then?
I haven't. Well,
I wonder how much of a pay raise he got. So he went to he went to Norwood, right? Got a pay raise, but I wonder how much of the pay raise was.
I take that back. I've watched pieces of it. Haven't watched the entire thing.
What pieces have you watched?
Just of me counting the money from the bedroom.
But I do wonder what his commute is, though. Because, like, yeah, you might have gotten a pay raise, but if your commute sucks ass, like, the pay raise might not even help a little bit. But I don't know. I'm intrigued.
You watched only the part of your body cam where you recounted the money in the bedroom only.
Correct.
You never watched the part for downstairs.
I did not.
You never watched the part where you sealed the evidence bag.
No.
Did you seal the evidence bag?
The evidence bag was not initially sealed, no.
What do you mean by initially sealed?
So it's not a self-sealing bag. It has to be taped. So it was placed in an evidence bag and brought downstairs to a central location until it was transported to the sheriff's office.
And the central location, where was that?
In the kitchen.
And you left it there alone?
No.
Who did you leave it with?
When I first brought it downstairs, Officer Cooley was sitting at a counter and I asked him to keep an eye on it while I continued the search.
Okay, and did he keep an eye on it?
As far as I know, yes.
What do you mean as far as you know?
I mean, I wasn't there the entire time. I went on to continue searching the residence and come back down.
But wouldn't he be in the chain of custody?
Yeah.
So did he sign the evidence bag?
No, I didn't. He wasn't in charge of the custody in that sense of signing or sealing the evidence bag. I just brought the cash down while we was still conducting the search and asked for him to keep an eye on it.
So the cash was never left alone?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Were you interviewed by a Mr. Robinson in relation to this matter?
No.
Okay. Did you make a report about the missing money?
I didn't know.
So there was this question about a return on a search warrant. Can you explain what that is?
The return?
Yes.
That's just an itemized list of property that's seized from the location during a search warrant service.
Did it include an amount of money seized on it?
Yes.
Does that amount of money match what was written on the evidence bag?
Yes.
So as far as the court knows, there was more money taken than what was returned?
I'm sorry.
So as far as the court knows with the return, more money was taken than what was returned?
That's the way it appeared, yes.
Did you put in an amended search warrant return?
I don't believe so.
So you never corrected your statement to the court?
Correct.
Okay. Does the Adams County Sheriff's Office have a policy and procedure pertaining to the counting of money as evidence?
I believe so.
What do you mean you believe so?
I haven't worked there in almost 3 years.
Are we going to see the body cam footage through him? I'm surprised they didn't play the body cam footage while he was under direct examination.
Before you worked there, did they have one?
It was, I don't necessarily know that it was a written policy, but it was to have 2 people count the money.
Did 2 people count the money?
No.
Oh, man, I'm confused on that. Can you tell me why?
So explain to me why it matters, where you're going in this case's context. Tell me why it's relevant.
Your Honor, this is relevant because if the evidence of Mr. Robinson is admitted, which he has not been here yet, but if it is admitted, this would be direct evidence since he did not interview the person who counted the money. This would go to counter Mr. Robinson's report. And actually, in my motion in limine, I talked about it in the idea that we did not have time to depose Mr. Robinson and determine what his investigation was or who he interviewed. As such, I'm asking a leading question of Mr. Newland because he didn't follow the policies and procedures. This was not taken into account by Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Robinson has made certain conclusions in his report that this would tend to cause issue with.
Mr. Robinson on the witness list?
Mr. Robinson is listed on Mr. Klingler's witness list.
Yeah, I think it's just how his face is. I think his face is just like that. Like that's his like normal baseline for his face. It's like a little bit like smiley, smirky, I guess.
Depending on what happens, you might be.
Oh, by the way, I don't think the camera has panned to Afroman yet in trial, but this is this is a lovely outfit. He's wearing a suit with the American flag all over it. You gotta rock the afro.
My concern is going to be hearsay, and everything you're asking the wrong witness is in that category. I get what you're doing. I just try to follow the trail of breadcrumbs.
I'm afraid I'm not understanding the hearsay argument, Your Honor.
He's going to say what another person said and observed. Didn't see it, but read about it, or doesn't have it firsthand. He already said he wasn't involved in that part of it. I'm going to give you some room to work.
I have moved past that. That's where I was talking about the policies and procedures, which would not be hearsay in the idea he should
No,
know
I
what they
get
are.
that. I'm just trying to track where you're going so I don't miss the ship sailing. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Newland, you worked at the Adams County Sheriff's Office from, what was the date on that? 2014 to 2023.
Yes.
During that time, when you started the Sheriff's Office in 2014, you reviewed the policies and procedures?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, do they not show the body cam because it doesn't help them? Does it look sketchy?
So you would have seen the policy on counting cash.
If there was one at the time, yes. I don't recall.
So you don't know if there was a policy at the time?
Correct.
Okay. So how do you know it was supposed to be counted by two people?
That was the practice that we normally adhered to. It would be counted by one and then recounted by a second.
Okay. And the second person would initial the evidence bag?
No, it was just kind of like almost like a system of checks and balances. And then the seizing officer would still initial and seal up the evidence.
This may sound an extremely stupid question. How many times did you count the money?
I counted it one time.
Why only once?
At the time, there was so much going on, I counted it one time, put it in the bag, and until we got done.
Okay.
Always count it twice.
So
at
when you
least.
retrieved the bag, you never counted it again?
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, especially. Sorry. He said there was so much going on, but honestly, there really wasn't much going on. Like, yeah, they were doing a search, but one, no one was on the premise, right? No threat? No imminent threat? It was just the house, right? There was no one at the house. Afroman was on tour. I don't know if he had anyone else at the house, but no one was at the house. They found a little bit of marijuana, and then they found the cash, but then nothing else, and maybe some paraphernalia. So it's like, you probably had time to double count the cash. And there was like a lot of shit happening, and there were people there, and you had people that were arrested, and there was like all these drugs to process, maybe like guns and stuff like that. Then okay, yeah, maybe like, oh, I only counted once because there's so much going on. But it's like, was there really that much going on? Maybe there was.
Did you seal the evidence bag before you left?
I did not.
Okay. Did you seal the evidence bag at the Adams County Sheriff's Department?
Yes, it was sealed at the Adams County Sheriff's Office.
I didn't ask if it was sealed. I asked if you sealed it.
Yes, I would have sealed the bag.
Let's go back to the deposition of August 8th, 2025. Do you remember that day?
Yes.
Do you remember I asked you about the money?
I remember their conversation about the money, yes.
Oh. Do you remember I asked you if you sealed the evidence bag at that time?
I don't recall you asking that.
Really? Okay. Did you ask the sheriff to do an investigation on the missing money?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
He seems really young. I don't know. I'm trying to get a read of him. He seems really young, and the sentiment that I get is that, like, someone told him to show up for this. Someone told him to show up for this trial. And he's like, okay, I'll show up. I don't know. I feel like I'm not really getting, like, the emotional response from him, or it could just be the way that he is. He's just like, I'm just here. Yeah. I was really sad, mad, depressed. Yeah. I don't know. He just seems very, like, matter of fact, I guess.
So I just want to get something clear here because my notes are a little fuzzy. You were in the Army at the same time you were a deputy, right?
So, yes, I
Oh, where are we going with this?
was in the reserves at the time.
Okay. So that's why you would have been a full-time deputy in 2014 and then discharged honorably from the military in 2015?
Correct.
Okay.
Where is he going with that? I feel like there's something there. Was there a little nugget there that I missed? You know, I just want to make sure I don't see the ship sailing, you know? I don't want to miss it.
You said this job was exciting.
Yeah.
What do you mean by exciting?
So, like I said, when I left the military, I wanted a career that would be not mundane, but kind of like an exciting, something new type of career. So I chose law enforcement.
Okay. And you've been called derogatory names before, correct?
Yes.
Significant derogatory names, correct?
Yes.
And that's by members of the public, correct?
Yes.
And that was prior to 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you have some brothers.
Yeah, but the scale of like the derogatory names versus like you going out with your kids and everyone recognizing you and then like playing the music on the phone and calling you a pedophile and the posts everywhere, it's a little bit different. Yeah, just a little bit different. Probably a lot different. But I see where he's going with that.
Do you have a brother that worked in law enforcement?
Yes.
Was he the chief of People's?
He was.
Police?
Is this the other brother? That not the misdemeanor brother, right? This is the elder brother? Or is it the same brother?
Why did he leave?
Why does it matter?
Your Honor, it has been brought up because one of the images has William Newland, and as you read through the post actually talks about Mr. Newland leaving the police department.
Maybe civil trials are just very different, but if I'm the jury and I'm sitting there right now, my mind is going, this judge fucking hates his attorney. There are better ways to ask questions that doesn't seem as scathing. Why does it matter? You know what I mean? It seems like, oh, you're wasting the jury's time with this line of questioning. I already told the jury a heads up that if there's going to be distractions, I'm going to come in and basically make everyone, you know, follow suit, I guess. But if I was the jury, I would just be like, damn, this fucking judge hates this guy.
Your Honor, it has been brought up because one of the law enforcement?
Yes.
Was he the chief of People's?
He was.
Police? Why did he leave?
Why does it matter?
Your Honor, it has been brought up because one of the images has William Newland, and as you read through the post actually talks about Mr. Newland leaving the police department, so therefore I am building a foundation to show the truth of what statements are in there.
Is that the reference to the plaintiff's picture?
It's a reference to one of his exhibits, yes. Give me a second, I'll tell you which exhibit.
As long as it refers to that exhibit, I get where you're going, so you can keep going.
I'll re-ask.
Do we not have to be as neutral in civil cases? I don't know. I mean, there was debt be heard, right? They were suing each other. Judge Penny seemed like she was trying to be as neutral as possible. This judge, however, he's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Question, why did your brother leave the People's Police Department?
He was charged with some kind of crime through the Adams County Prosecutor's Office. He was subsequently convicted, and he resigned or quit sometime during the process.
And it is a fair statement to say it involved minor children?
I really don't know anything about the investigation.
You don't know anything about your brother?
No, there's no way that you didn't know. You didn't know anything about the investigation. One, it's your brother. Two, you work for the sheriff's office. Come on now. Is it a small town? You guys have to be talking in the office. No way. Okay, this part, I don't believe. I don't believe it. He did mention it earlier that he was like, oh yeah, it was like a misdemeanor or some sort. I'm like, okay, maybe you're just being a little evasive here. I'm going to rewind it back. I do not believe this.
I'll re-ask the question. Why did your brother leave the People's Police Department?
He was charged with some kind of crime through the Adams County Prosecutor's Office. He was subsequently convicted, and he resigned or quit sometime during the process.
And it is a fair statement to say it involved minor children?
I really don't know anything about the investigation.
You don't know anything about your brother's crime he was charged with?
Just what I've seen on Jail Tracker in the past.
So you're not close to your brother?
I'm not, no.
Okay. Are you close to your family then?
Yeah, most of my family.
Then why not your brother who's in law enforcement?
Well, we were both in the Army at the same time, separate parts of the world.
No, come on. You had to have known the tea. No, people be talking. People be talking. People be talking. I don't know if I believe it. I think he should just be like, you know what? Yeah, fuck my brother. I don't like my brother. We're not close. You know, yeah, he was charged with like doing some weird shit with the minors, but that's not me, okay? I had nothing to do with that. Oh boy. Dude, when Afroman found out about this little nugget, his eyes must have been glowing. Like, he must have been like tee-hee-hee-heeing about this.
We kind of got close again, and then once this, his issues happened, we kind of just drifted apart again.
So you drifted apart once he had a criminal problem?
Correct.
So
Let's talk about that. Has anybody asked you about that prior to 2022 when he was charged?
No.
No one asked you about your brother.
I'm sorry. You, like before he was charged and it came out to everybody? No.
So no one.
I mean, it's possible that there's a world where he wasn't close with his brother. He generally doesn't know about the charges, and no one in the town. Sorry, I don't know if it's a small town or not. No one in the town was talking about it, even though he works for the sheriff's department, and he probably knows people that are on the prosecution team and people who work at the courthouse. Okay, I mean, it's possible.
No one asked you about your brother being charged with a crime.
Yeah, after the fact. I've been asked about it.
When was the first time you were asked about it then?
And it would have been shortly after he was charged or arrested.
And you didn't look it up?
It was all a complete surprise to me.
And that was prior to Mr. Foreman's video and post, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
So now you've said people have treated you differently since Mr. Foreman's post.
Yes.
So people come and ask you about your brother. Did they treat you differently because of that?
Oh, that's a good question.
It was just on a smaller scale. I was asked about it, and then that was it. It wasn't shared, and I wasn't put in music videos and everything else because of that reason.
But your brother's criminal charge and everything was in the front page of the local newspaper, correct?
Yeah,
So everybody in Adams County knew that your brother was charged.
correct.
Wait, it was on the front page of the local news? Wait, I'm so confused. Wait, are we... Now I'm confused because when he asked about it involved a minor child, he's like, oh, I'm not really sure. Let me go back a little bit. Maybe he meant he didn't know at that time. No, dude, it was on the fucking front page. Are you lying? Newland. He said, is it fair statement to say that involved minor children? Officer says, I don't really know anything about the investigation. Defense attorney, you don't know anything about your brother's crime he was charged with? Just what I've seen on Jail Tracker in the past. It was on the front page. Does anyone have a front page? I try to give people benefit of the doubt, but like at this point, I don't know if I can give you that much benefit of the doubt. I think he's lying. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think he's lying. Yeah. Why? Why lie? Don't lie. It's not good for you.
And so did people treat you differently at that time?
It's bad for your health.
No.
Not at all?
No.
Why didn't they treat you differently?
Now it makes sense. So if people knew that his brother was already convicted of something that involved a minor child, and then Afroman came out and threw these accusations, now it makes sense. It all makes sense now, because I would probably feel the same way. It would be like, oh, well, his brother was charged with something with a minor child. Like, who knows? Maybe he's like that too. Now it makes sense. That's why he was ostracized. That's why people made fun of him. I mean, Afroman, of course, made it 10 times worse.
Would that be a question for them?
Okay. Would it be because they knew you?
Since he said he doesn't know, you shouldn't ask that question. Strike it.
Yeah, this judge is like... I have a tough time with his language.
Would that be a question for them?
Okay. Would it be because they knew you?
Since he said he doesn't know, you shouldn't ask that question. Strike it.
We'll strike the question. Move on.
Thank you. See, that would be a classic example of testimony from the lawyer, not the witness who said he doesn't know.
What is the judge saying now? Oh my fucking God. So the judge says, see, that would be a classic example of testimony, something, something. Not the witness who said he doesn't know. Go ahead.
Example of testimony from See, that would be a classic example of testimony from the lawyer, not the witness who said he doesn't know. Go ahead.
And the judge is like, go ahead. Man, that fucking tone.
If you don't know if they treated you differently when your brother was on the front page of the paper, how do you know that your treatment today, or as you've testified to, was due solely to Mr. Foreman?
Well, prior to this, nobody called me a pedophile. Prior to this, there was nothing published about me being a pedophile. Prior to this, nobody asked me if I was molesting my own 3-year-old son.
What about the office?
What the fuck happened?
Let me rephrase the question.
Hello? Okay.
Did the officers that you work with at Norwood put up a picture or an image of Mr. Foreman on your computer?
Yes.
Did you ask them to take it down?
No.
Did they think it was funny?
Yes.
And they're in law enforcement?
Yes.
Wait, they put a picture of Afroman on this guy's computer? Oh, gosh. Who's Afroman? Hey, Shun, how are you doing today? Are you familiar with that song, Because I Got High? He made this hit song a long time ago, probably like more than 20 years ago. But recently, or I guess like 4 years ago, he was raided, and there were some claims that he's making against law enforcement. And he made a bunch of music videos about it, Instagram posts, social media posts about these law enforcement officers, and now they are suing him for defamation. And we're seeing what went down, because I don't know shit about this case.
Do they think any different of you because of this?
I don't know.
They don't treat you differently?
I don't really, I mean, I work with them, but I don't really associate with them. I go there and I do my job and I come home.
When you interviewed for the Norwood Police Department, they never anything Mr. Foreman said against you?
I don't believe so, no.
Wait, the officers were they bullying him? That completely just went over my mind. Norwood is the new department that he's working at. He used to work for Adams County. This is where we are, Adams County. But he transferred over to Norwood. The officers at Norwood put a picture of Afroman on his computer. I wonder what the picture is. Oh, maybe they weren't trying to bully him. Maybe they just thought it was funny and trying to make him laugh.
Okay. Would it be fair to say it did not affect your professional career then?
Oh, it absolutely did.
How so?
Even if I move locations from Adams County to Cincinnati or to Los Angeles, people still ask if I'm a pedophile. People still ask me what it's about. People still ask me if I'm a thief.
But the people you work with do not ask that, correct?
They don't ask me, I know.
When you were interviewed, your future employer never asked you that question.
No.
So then when you say it damaged your reputation, you're only referring to people in the public, correct?
No.
This is one of the officers that's suing him. This is witness number 1. He was called like a pedophile. There was like pictures and posts, and now we're learning about his brother.
That's just what people in the public is what I know. Maybe people do have bias against me, in law enforcement. I don't know.
Okay. Were you ever passed up for promotion because of this?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Were you ever disciplined because of this?
No.
And you agree while you're out in the public, people are seeing you perform your law enforcement duties?
Yes.
And based upon what they see, they will make comments about you, correct?
Yes.
So how you perform your duties reflects on your reputation?
Yes.
And you've testified in the courtroom before, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever testified in a civil case before?
No.
Have you ever testified in a civil case that involved the duties of a police officer before?
No.
Okay. You've had citizens comment on your execution of your duties before, correct?
Yes.
Not all those comments have been positive, have they?
Correct.
You don't know if his kids still live with him?
And so you would agree that as a police officer, you are subject to public scrutiny?
Yes.
And you've never sought to keep your status as a law enforcement officer secret?
No.
Have you ever been in a local newspaper?
Yes.
Was it positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay. But not everything they write is positive, is it?
Correct.
What? Not everything they wrote is positive. Oh, I thought they meant like everything they wrote about him that day that was positive. It wasn't. It wasn't all correct. Okay, I get what they meant by that.
As you said that people can comment on your execution of your duties as a police officer, did you follow the procedure correctly in execution of the search warrant?
In the execution of the search warrant itself, yes.
Okay. So you knocked on the door as required by law?
Correct.
Okay. And then you decided to kick it in?
Correct.
And then when you couldn't kick it in, you went to the side door with the battering ram?
Correct.
Why did you try to kick the door in with your foot?
Is this what we're not trying?
Your Honor, he has opened the door and saying that his...
No, I closed the door. So I don't think we're trying the search warrant case.
Your Honor, he is claiming that his reputation is linked to how he performs his official duties. I am merely introducing that he has not followed procedures, and therefore a person can criticize him on that, and therefore he would have that as part of his reputation that everybody would have to consider.
Man, this is great. If you're if you're the plaintiff, you don't have to do shit. You don't need to object. The judge will do it for you.
We don't have any standard against which to measure that, which is the whole point. So how are we going to get a standard against which to measure that? Otherwise, you get a dance in the pea patch. I said we're not dancing it.
If we can't present that he hasn't done his job correctly and that would reflect negative on his reputation, then I don't understand what we would be presenting that, because his reputation is exactly what he is claiming is damaged. It is the very issue that they're going to ask for money damages about.
Do you have an expert that's going to say there was a violation of a search warrant process?
No, we're just going to introduce the policies and procedures in place at that time.
There are some?
There are, yes.
Well, then put the foundation out there first. Like my prior decision.
So the judge has already told the jury that there was a claim that there was excessive force used when convicting this, when doing this search warrant, but they've already found that there wasn't excessive force use, and it was just under standard protocol of, like, you know, when you're doing a search warrant on a house.
Like, made that clear. I'm trying to work with this, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty good about staying laser focused.
I'm trying to ask the questions now so I don't have to recall Mr. Newland after the Sheriff Kenny Dick is called, so he can tell us what the policies were at that time. But I can say this line of questioning and recall him later for it if that would.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like buffering on Twitch. It's weird. Twitch ain't having it. I think it's fine on YouTube though. Is it fine on YouTube? Yeah, YouTube looks, because I have Twitch and YouTube on my phone and my iPad.
Might be more amenable to the court.
Like, see policies and procedures on your witness list.
The witness list or exhibit list, Your Honor?
It's all together, so exhibit list. Like, I might have an
What's happening over here? Who dialed in?
old one.
There is an amended one, if I may, Your Honor.
You have them, Mr. Clayman?
Yes.
Amended when? Mine stated, Mark, let's see, Sheriff's Office policy and procedure.
Policies and procedures for Adams County Sheriff's Office.
So that's the whole policy procedure manual?
Yes, Your Honor, although we're going to try to tailor it to just what's relevant so we don't have an entire manual. Judge, please authenticate.
Keep her going then, Mr. Osborne.
I would note I would need one. I need Mr. Dick to come in and say they were in place at the time, as Mr. Newland can't remember that they were in place at the time.
We might be able to stick that.
Now, it's not every time you're in public that people yell and scream "C" for pedophile, correct?
Correct.
There's quite a few times you can have a peaceful meal with your kids and never have any problems.
Correct.
It's only at certain times this occurs, correct?
Correct.
Have you ever been accused before of stealing money from traffic stops?
Yes.
It was not Mr. Foreman that accused you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Have you seen a copy of Mr. Robinson's report?
Mr. Robinson. That's the guy that the what's it called? Defense said that they weren't able to interview him, I think.
May have seen I don't believe I've seen the whole report. When he first conducted the report or conducted the investigation, I was provided a copy of the report or a partial copy.
But you never sent that to Mr. Foreman, did you?
I didn't know.
You would agree if someone called someone a baby killer, that would be an exaggeration?
I'm sorry.
If someone called someone a baby killer, that would be an exaggeration, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Nobody would take that seriously, correct?
I'm sure somebody would.
So when you talk about your reputation, are you talking about your reputation only in Adams County, or are you talking about it in the whole world?
My reputation in general. Adams
In what?
County, Hamilton County, the entire world.
The entire world. So you care what people think about you in Australia?
When it affects me and my job, yes.
How does Australia affect your job?
I'm not saying that it does. I'm just using it as a generalization. If it affects me and my personal life and my job, yes, it matters to me.
Now you're claiming that.
I guess you could say that, like, I mean, he kind of stepped into it with the Australia thing, but I guess you could say that, like, oh, well, if these people in Australia were harassing me, you know, on social media, and then, like, my kids saw it. I guess you could say it in that way, but.
By being called a thief, you were painted in a false light.
Yes.
And what exactly does that mean?
That I was being painted in a false light.
You've been accused of stealing from traffic stops before.
You know, I actually wonder how many. Maybe that's quite often for law enforcement to be accused of stuff like that.
So being accused of stealing on traffic stops before was when money was seized and forfeited by the courts and no longer returned, and I was quote unquote called a thief.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me see where my dogs are. I'm missing a dog. Okay, I found him. I was like, wait a second. It's a little too quiet. Anyone here an Aussie? Hey, I just want you guys to know that Newland here, he really cares about your guys' opinions. You're important.
Never to this extent.
Okay.
Never to this broad,
But you would agree there is some similarity here. Money was seized here too.
correct.
Okay.
All right, I think that is it. Something happens to the footage and it just dies. All right, well, are we going to continue the cross-examination? Let's find out. All right, we are on video number 3, y'all.
Times as a law enforcement officer, did any of those cause you to quit your job and find a job in another place?
No.
You said, I think, that some officers in Norwood posted, was it a picture of Afroman, of Mr. Foreman, on your computer?
Yes.
Did they post a picture of the accusation that you're a pedophile?
No.
As a public official, you're subject to scrutiny, I believe was Mr. Osborne's question, and you agree with that, correct? You're subject to scrutiny.
Yes.
I think this is back to the plaintiff's attorneys.
And when you became a police officer, did you think you were signing up for being called a pedophile and having to lose your job?
No.
Do you think do you think being called a pedophile is just an exaggeration?
No, I don't.
You got to ask a question about your emotions and whether or not you've seen a doctor. And I believe you.
Oh no! Wait, I think we have some cross-examination that was cut off. Do you guys do you know where the rest of the cross-examination went? It seems like it got cut off. No. Because I don't remember the doctor question. Yeah, I think I got cut off. Oh, I got cut off. No. Does anyone know where the rest of the cross-examination is?
You said you haven't?
No.
Can you tell us anything about the atmosphere in law enforcement circles that, as you've experienced it, and the attitude toward therapy and emotions and that sort of thing?
There's a stigma on seeking medical help or seeing a doctor or taking therapy. You just expected to take it and move on, and it's all fun and games, kind of like, them posting that picture on my computer. I didn't find it funny at all, but they did. Like, it's just that stigma, around law enforcement in general.
So you've been dealing.
Okay, there's a stigma, but still, like... okay. So basically, I guess somewhere in cross-examination, he was asked about whether or not he went to go see a doctor, and I'm assuming the question is, the answer to that was no. And so he's basically saying, like, oh, like, there's a stigma, towards going to therapy, and you kind of just deal with it. It's like, okay, but you can still go, And then also when there's a picture on his computer, he says, I didn't find it funny at all, but they did. He said that he did find it funny. He didn't ask him to take it down, and that he said he found it funny. What is happening here?
Take it and move on, and it's all fun and games, kind of like, them posting that picture on my computer. I didn't find it funny at all, but they did. Like, it's just that stigma, around law enforcement in general.
So you've been dealing with this by yourself, as you say, without medical.
Am I tripping? I could have sworn that he said he found it funny. Maybe I am tripping. Apparently, Norwood, the people that worked with him in Norwood put a picture of Afroman on his computer. And he said, or are we talking about different topics here? Maybe we're talking about different topics. Okay, here. Right here.
Did the officers that you work with at Norwood put up a picture or an image of Mr. Foreman on your computer?
Yes.
Did you ask them to take it down?
No.
Did they think it was funny?
Yes.
Oh, did they think it was funny? Oh, okay.
And they're in law enforcement?
Yes.
Do they think any different of you because of this?
Okay. All right, I was wrong. Let's go back.
Will help.
Yes.
Those are all my questions, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. Thank you, Mr. Clayton.
Thank you. Just a few more questions, Brian. You would agree that there was mistakes made during the search and counting the money and everything, correct?
Yes.
So it was not done perfectly, correct?
Correct.
You mentioned that as an officer, you're supposed to take it and move on. Is that part of having a thick skin as a police officer?
I guess you could word it that way, yeah.
Kind of stepped into that one.
Is it correct to say that the officers at Norwood found it funny, but you didn't?
Correct.
So some people find things funny that you don't find funny?
Yes.
I wonder if he also did he get bullied at his new office?
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Please step down. What do you got that's going to give me 30 or 40 minutes, Mr. Clayton?
Our next witness, Judge, is Lieutenant Lisa Phillips.
All right, Lisa Phillips. Lisa Phillips. Let's see. Who was Lisa again? Lisa, I think. Oh, was a resource officer for 18 years. She also greeted, I guess she worked at a school, and then like Afroman's kids went there. She greeted his children. Afroman said that she likes sex with women. Something about pizza. I don't know. I wrote pizza woman. I don't know what that means now. Lick 'em low, Lisa. Okay, that's the one. And then I think someone went up to the kid and asked if the mom had a sex change, something like that, and something about porn. That's all I know. That was mentioning
through
opening.
your direct by 4:15 to 4:30.
That may be difficult.
They give you somebody you can get through.
I think I can get through my direct, Judge.
That's the goal. Thank you. Let's go.
How's the audio, y'all? Alright, I think this is witness number 2. Lisa. So witness number 1, I mean, I do feel bad for him. It seems like it really sucks to be bullied like that, and to be ridiculed by the public. I don't believe that he didn't know about his brother's charges and that he didn't know it involved minor children. I think he lied on the stand about that one.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? As this, you shall answer unto God.
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You can be seated.
Go ahead, Mr. Clayton.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Lisa Phillips.
And Lisa,
Is it better on Twitch now? I hope so.
where do you live?
Adams County.
How long have you lived in Adams County?
At least 24 years or so.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a deputy sheriff.
When did you start your career in law enforcement?
2001.
And what were you doing at that time?
I graduated high school in 2000 and went to the police academy.
Well, what academy did you go to?
Greenfield Police Academy in Hillsborough.
And how long have you known you wanted to be a police officer?
Since I was a kid.
What was your first position then out of the academy?
Part-time at West Union Police Department.
And then when did you become, was your next job a deputy sheriff?
Yes, sir.
When did you start as a deputy sheriff?
September of 2002.
And do you have family here in Adams County?
Yeah. Yes.
You have a husband?
Yes, sir.
You have a child?
Yes, sir.
How old is your child?
She's 21.
And did she go to school here in Adams County?
Yes, sir.
Do you have other family in the area?
I got grandma and cousins and family like that.
And did you ever serve as a school resource officer?
Yes, sir, I did.
Tell us about that.
I took the job full-time at the sheriff's office as a school resource officer is what I started off as, deputy sheriff, school resource officer. was there for the kids, just to keep the kids safe, not any kind of danger. I also was there for the kids, as far as, bonding with the kids, and keeping them,
Yeah, they don't have microphones for people who are testifying. This is horrible. Can you guys hear her kind of okay? I could boost it up a little bit more. I'm gonna make it go a little bit up higher.
as far as like way of life, just to, you need somebody else to be there, Sometimes they need somebody to talk to. I did that quite a bit.
And did you sometimes greet the kids when they got dropped off at school?
In the morning, I directed traffic at the school.
And did you have occasion to know any of Mr. Foreman's children?
I don't know him by name, but I have let him out of the vehicle before, or not let him out, but greet him.
Oh, something happened with the footage, but the time is still ticking. Oh, TVU networks. Let's jump a little bit.
Were you part of the team that executed a warrant on Mr. Foreman's property?
Yes, sir.
And that home was located here in Adams County on Russellville Road?
Yes, sir.
And how did you come to be a part of that warrant team?
I was called in. I wasn't actually working.
You weren't on duty?
No, sir.
And is that part of your job? Even if you're off duty, if you need to be called in for something, you drop everything and go do it?
Yes.
Was Mr. Foreman home during the warrant execution?
No, sir.
Were any of his children present?
Not initially.
Oh, so the kids did end up coming home?
Did you see any of his children that night?
In the vehicle with their mother.
Just to clear that up, can you tell us what happened?
Come in the driveway, and I was on the outer post of the house as far as like the perimeter area. And she pulled up the kids, and I went over and spoke with her, and I told her we probably wouldn't be good for the kids to see us, so they wouldn't be there to be upset or anything.
Excuse me. Do you know whether the children live there or do they live somewhere else?
They live up the road. Up down the road from there.
With their mother?
Yes.
So then did they leave, or did the children never went into the house or anything?
No, sir.
All right, so the kids did show up, and they came with the mom, but they went up to go talk to the mom, saying they're like, oh, you shouldn't come over because, they might be upset with what's going on over here. The kids did not live with him at the time. They lived up the road with their mom.
Did you take any money that night?
No, sir.
I thought that question needs to be a little bit more pointed since the whole thing is about them thieving. It should be like, did you take any money that was part of the search warrant? I feel like it needs to be a little bit more specific.
Sometime after this warrant was executed, did you start becoming aware of things Mr. Foreman was posting about you on the internet?
Yes, sir, I did.
We have some exhibits that we want to. Do you have them? Do you have the? Is that the? Which number is this?
This is number.
So Lisa, we're showing you what we've marked as Exhibit 19. This looks like a post from September 17th, 2022. Was that shortly after the execution of the warrant?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it seems like it's a picture of her next to Mona Lisa. All right. Good morning, ladies. ... Here she is. The condescending C word? I don't know what that says. Adams County Sheriff Lieutenant Monica Lickham Lowe Lisa to serve and disconnect your home video security surveillance system so you won't have proof of the Adams County Sheriff Department stealing money and other things around your house, even possibly planting false kidnapping evidence. I used to speak to this lady when I dropped my kids off to school. I always wondered why she never spoke back. Just look at me with those condescending, I think this is C ?NT. Okay, I think it's cunt look. You see in the picture. I spoke with her again at the metal detector at the Adams County Courthouse. Her voice was 3 octaves lower than mine. Lol. Has anyone in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should, or she might. Oh, gosh. There's more.
Can we blow it up
There's a whole ass scrolly bar here, so I don't know how long this is.
A little bit. Graph, just go down a little bit more. Right there. Has anybody in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should, or she might. Oh, whoop out something bigger than yours. If this lady is your friend, I wouldn't leave her alone in my house. Or I'll put it this way, if you leave and your video system is messed up, et cetera, et cetera. And then down below a little further, my name for this particular officer is Lieutenant Mona Lickamlow Lisa. When did you first see this posting, if you recall?
Shortly after the warrant.
That was over three and a half years ago. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one. And you see here, it says disconnect after stealing my money.
What's the number?
Sorry, exhibit.
Good morning, ladies. Lieutenant Mona Lickamlow Lisa. Oh, that's why he put the Mona Lisa thing on there. Got it. Full of shit Phillips to serve and to disconnect after stealing my money and disconnecting my cameras. Lieutenant Mona Lickamlow Lisa, full of shit Phillips, is suing me for humiliating her, giving her mental stress, ridicule, and the loss of reputation. She doesn't like being called Lieutenant Mona Lickamlow Lisa, full of shit Phillips, but she loves stealing money and disconnecting cameras of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens.
Plaintiff's 20, Your Honor. Thank you.
Next one is March.
Citizens, that's March 25th of 2023. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Go to the next one. Which number is this?
Number 21 is the video.
Oh, is this the video? Oh, geez. Okay, I'll slow it down to normal speed.
Lieutenant Lickamlow Lisa, stop looking at pussy back there. That's your problem. You always look at pussy and you don't even know how many pussies you licked. You don't even know how many video cameras you done disconnected.
What number? That was 21?
Yes.
Did you see that video when it was posted?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
She disconnected my camera.
Was that the
22.
22?
Lieutenant Mona Lickamlow Lisa, my ex-wife just like pizza. She jealous of me and my love chill. That's why she disconnected my camera.
Was that the same one over again, or was that a different one?
That is number 22.
That's
the
22.
same- Yes.
Same one, all right. Lieutenant Lickamlow Lisa ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Is that what you understood that to say?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
This is 23.
Mona Lickamlow Lisa, my ex-wife just like pizza. She jealous of me and my love chill. That's why she disconnected my camera.
That's the same thing on a different platform. Do you know what? Can you tell what platform that is?
Sir.
Oh, he's going to replay it on all the different platforms that it showed up on? Do we need to do that? Can't he just be like, do you recognize this platform? Do we got to play it over and over again? All right, it was on Instagram. It was on YouTube.
I'm just trying to figure out which two platforms. Were they both the same platform?
Do you want me to go to the next? Or both of those are both YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And then there's more exhibits of this.
Yes, I don't know why we had two of the same one, but I'm sorry.
Sir, are you fucking with Lisa?
Let's go. You can
Can
turn.
we stop here? So, for the record, are we saying that Exhibit 22 and Exhibit 23 are duplicates?
They are not duplicates. They are postings of the same video. One was posted on October 4th, 2022. One was posted on October 23rd, 2022. They were posted on his YouTube account on two separate occasions. One is like that.
Can we clear that
Thank
up
you.
for the record, Your Honor?
I think we just did.
I don't
Thank
know
you
which
for-
one was posted when.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
You're thinking like I'm thinking. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge.
20.
Let's play the next exhibit.
24.
Yes. Exhibit 24.
Mona Lickamlow Lisa, my ex-wife just like pizza. She jealous of me and my love chill. That's why she disconnected my camera.
When was that post? Can you see a date? Is that a different date?
It won't let me see
Oh.
these, but it's
Should have the witness testify probably ideally
It's
if we
September
can.
25th of 2022.
Okay. And is that a different? That's a different date from the other two?
Dude, if I was the jury, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening here? Why am I here?
Yes.
Thank you. Next exhibit. Number
25.
number 25.
It seems like we're just watching the same video over and over and over and over and over again.
Was that a different date? Well, it's not up there anymore, is it? Or
It is up there.
okay. Can you tell, Lisa? Sorry.
Yes, sir. It's October 4th of 2022.
Thank you. Different date. Okay. Next exhibit. Is that it? All right. We're ready to do that?
I'm just assuming I'm going to object.
Yes, you're going to object to
This
this.
is the one I'm going to renew my objection on.
So don't play it, just tell me what it is first. What is this?
This is a video that was posted, I believe, last Friday. Yes.
Your Honor, I will enter an objection on this. The law has changed. As I said, in April of 2025, a new law was passed, an anti-SLAPP law, which would apply to this, and therefore would have a completely different standard of evidence, and we would renew our objection to it being admitted, or even posted at this point.
Mr. Klingler?
That law does not apply to this video or to this case, Judge.
Your Honor, that pertains to matters of public, for the press. It also covers artistic expression and stuff. Just to have no analysis is not an answer to the question. But I will renew it.
So it's a really good objection, and I'll be consistent and overrule it. We'll play it, and you might be right, but we'll overrule it. I think I'm right.
Wait, what are you saying? He said you might be right? Wait, what? But... So the judge is like, well, I'm just going to be consistent, and I'm just going to overrule your objection. We're going to play it. You might be right, though. I'm so confused. If he might be right, shouldn't we be more prudent and not play it? And then maybe the judge does his like little side research and then figures out whether or not it should be played or not, and then decide later on. Because at this point, the jury's already going to see it. If the judge finds out that the defense was right, is he going to be like, hey, jury, yeah, actually, they were right. I shouldn't have played these videos. Can y'all just, like, delete it from your memory? Am I missing something here? That's what he said, okay? The judge said that.
Your Honor, that pertains to matters of public, for the press. It also covers artistic expression and stuff. Just to have no analysis is not an answer to the question. But I will renew it.
So it's a really good objection, and I'll be consistent and overrule it. We'll play it, and you might be right, but we'll overrule it. I think I'm right.
I don't know. Maybe the judge was
Number
mumbling
26.
and I misheard that. But if I heard correctly, it's a little weird that we're playing it.
Sorry, we're out of... Then for the record, Your
Did you see this already, Mr. Osborne?
Your Honor, when they listed it, I did find it and take a look at it. I was never supplied a copy, but I did find a copy on YouTube.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, is this a deposition? Because I was like, where is he getting these footages of these guys? Is it AI? But I think maybe these are like video depositions or something. Oh no, that's a... Oh, that's an actor. Oh, that's an actor. Okay. Because they have the shirt that says "Look at Little Lisa." Okay. All right. Yeah, so it's like depots, and it's like they remade the scene and then hired actors. Okay, got it.
In the town, she left the percent all around. From Adams County to the 275. Lick a police side, lick a police side. Peace out. So take it away, come on. Lisa, lick a police side, peace out. So take it away, come on. Lisa, lick a police side, Lisa. Come on, Lisa.
We could probably jump around this, right? Hey, no way, this song is 14 minutes long.
Full of shit, Phillips. She'll pull your woman over, spread her legs and feel them lips.
I think it looks genuine to me. It's 14 minutes long. Dude, that's fucking crazy. I don't know. She looks genuinely upset. I'm just gonna pour through this. Oh, okay, hold on. There's something here.
Obviously, I never said change that child. I don't know about that yet. They didn't make money off of it. It's inside the shop. What about the time out of peanuts? I was on my way to work one morning. I companion was off the stop sign. Commissioners had contracted a crew that was working with the companion. I hollered, Lieutenant, look low, lose the field. No one calls, or even after working. Get a holler from Lieutenant Livermore, Lisa Phillips. Pussy waiting. Not really talk, not think, not sure I'm happy. I feel weak because I can't keep it. Yeah.
Do they need to play the entire video? Could they just have gotten snippets of it or just read the lyrics? I guess like they really wanted the jury to feel like this is how bad it was, this is how long the video was, but like damn. Or could they just have like couldn't they just like read like snippets of it and then have the jury watch the whole thing in deliberation as like part of evidence?
Number one, I have to be emotional because for clients, lies, I've had deep voices in my entire life. I ended up waking up one morning, you better not have deep voices, alright? I had not had sex to you. I did not have a penis. I shouldn't have to prove I don't have a penis. Or I have a penis bigger than the rest of the guys I work with. And pull people over and let them post me on me come fun. Obviously, it's right here.
Lisa, I'm sorry. I didn't know that hurt you like that. You kind of intimidated. I know you. I'm sorry. You got invaded my house. You knocked down my door. I was upset. I would never shoot you or I would never try to punch you. I thought I cracked some musical jokes that I didn't know they hurt you that bad. I'm sorry. I think you're a nice little lady. I didn't know you was a biological lady. I'm sorry. I was just having fun with the bad situation.
Wait, what is this part right here? Hold on, I'm a little confused about this part.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Oh, man, Jesus. Hang on, let's take a little break, everybody.
Look at everyone just sitting there listening to this. So the camera's at Afroman right now.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Is that? Oh, this. I did a show one night, and this girl said, "Hey, Afroman, I want to give you some zoosties."
Is this part of it?
Dude, they made her watch that entire 15 minutes. Just let her sit there. Do we really need this? I feel so bad for her.
That it?
When was that video posted again? Does anyone know?
You 15 minutes tomorrow to start. We're done. She's still under direct. You're directed not to coach her testimony. You can talk about other matters, but not her direction.
Understood, Judge. Thank you.
We'll start at 8:15 tomorrow, and you can have your
Oh, that's it for the day? Okay.
15 or so then.
Thank you.
Thank you for good work today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and go off the
I
record.
don't know why this judge is like giving those instructions. You're directed not to coach her. It's like, oh, why would he say that? You think he was going to coach her? Shit. All right, I do feel bad for Elisa. I think she genuinely did look really upset up there. Okay. Where are we at now? All right, 1, 2, 3. This is the one that we just watched, right? Okay, so the next ones are these right here. All right, cool. Well, we have like, a few more hours of footage to go. So far, this shit is like completely fucking unhinged. Now, whether or not it was a good idea to bring this case on to Afroman, it doesn't seem like it. I don't know. I mean, I'm still waiting to hear more from the plaintiffs and see what else they got on him. I think right now, like, emotionally, you're just like, well, what the fuck? Like, I do feel bad for these people, and it does suck. But, man. Yeah, the judge did him dirty. Plaintiff's lawyer should have called someone else so they didn't end on that song. I would have to say this, that the song is a little catchy. It is kind of catchy. That was posted, 2 weeks ago. Okay. If it was posted 2 weeks ago, then I would say I could for sure see even more why she would be even more emotional. Because it's still kind of like new and fresh. But guys, we will watch the rest of this tomorrow, and I will make sure to scrub the video to make sure that there's no other booties on here. Because that definitely came as a surprise. Yeah, that's what everyone is saying. It was the Streisand effect. So bad. Yeah, it's like, this was probably big locally, and maybe it did, it did blow up on some parts of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but now it's like so many people are covering this. A lot of people know about this. Yeah, damn. All right, guys. Well, that is it for today. We'll be back to watch the rest of this, I think, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. We'll watch the rest of this tomorrow. Guys, if you guys haven't seen it yet, we did post a video on Corey Richards and essentially things that didn't make it into trial. So I went through some of like the old hearings, some of the old court documents. So if you guys were not familiar with Corey Richards with all the pretrial stuff, I posted things that didn't make it in, and it's a lot of crazy shit, a lot of wild stuff the jury didn't know about. So feel free to check it out. But for this trial, maybe I'm thinking of maybe doing a recap for the Afroman trial. It's not long at all, and recaps are kind of fun for me to do. But oh my gosh, so far it is pretty fucking unhinged. If I was a jury who was summoned to serve as jury for jury duty for this, I would have been like, what the fuck is this? You're listening to opening statements, you hear the testimonies of the witnesses or the victims, and then you have these like music videos and all these posts and stuff like that. Like it is pretty freaking crazy. Oh, the kids are in spring break. Oh, it's spring break time. It is. I hope you guys enjoy your spring break then. Alrighty. The jury speaking out. Let me know. The judge didn't like Afroman. I mean, so far this judge is kind of crass. Like, it seems like he doesn't like the defense attorney, but I don't know. Maybe he's his way towards all the attorneys. That last like admonition that he gave to the attorney, it was like, you cannot coach them. It's like, damn. Okay, say that in front of the jury. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for dealing with the little hiccups earlier. There were some hiccups because I was trying to figure out how to... Wait, why is it so zoomed in right now? Oh, never mind. I think we're good. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, there were some hiccups earlier, but I think we have it all smoothed out. We are trying to work with this audio, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Have a good